Hey, welcome. Hey, I'm Dean Gornitis. Welcome to the Saturday Sit Down. I know everything about books. Everything I say is fact, and I am Anthony Fantano, dressed up. This week, after a number of requests through Twitter, Tumblr, and YouTube, if you guys aren't talking to me on there, get talking. I was told to read Invisible Monsters by Chuck Palahniuk. Chucky P. And I read a story about a character who used to be a supermodel and then gets the bottom of her face, like, shot off, goes to the hospital, gushing blood, gets fixed up, gets let out, no longer has the bottom of a face, only has the top teeth and a tongue. She wears veils to cover up. She's very depressed because she used to be a supermodel, and she befriends a character by the name of Brandy Alexander who helps her get through the times by robbing people and taking lots of drugs. I first read this book when I was 19 years old, and I was a passionate believer in the Palahniuk revolution that was taking place in the literary world. Now I'm reading it again, and I just don't have the same fiery beliefs in this book that I once did. And I know that's gonna hurt a lot of my followers, and I hope you guys don't unsubscribe for me because I don't have the same passion for this book that you have. I once did. And the only thing I can really say is I feel like I kind of grew out of it. After a little research, I noticed that a lot of the people who really love this book seem to fall in that age range of maybe 16 to 20 or 21 or 22. And I tried to figure out why is this book so popular among that age range, and why does it seem to kind of grow out of favor with teachers and adults as we get older. I mean, obviously not everyone, but you have to admit there seems to be a niche we're talking about here. And what I noticed is this book seems to have, I just spit when I talked there. You might even have seen that on camera. But this book has a lot of quotable lines, and I do remember now as a teenager posting these on my AOL Instant Messenger my screen name, away messages, and my profiles, and my MySpace and things like that. There's a lot of quotable passages here that I once felt were really original and said a lot about the human condition. But now I just feel like they don't have the same kind of impact that they once did. Lines like, and I know I'm not quoting this exactly, but the person that you love will never be the same person that loves you, and things of that nature, once really clicked with my 19-year-old, more angsty self, but today they just seem a little too flashy and a little too attention demanding. But that's what this book is about. It's about a supermodel and somebody who's been trained to have the attention on her all the time. And the book is laid out in a way that somebody like that would probably express herself. This has a very cosmopolitan magazine feel to it. There's constant jumping from one scene to another and back and forth and back and forth. It's just like you were flipping through the pages and reading one article and says jump to page 107, but then you don't actually jump to that and you just start reading the other article and so on and so forth. And this is one of the ways that Palahniuk really, I think, does a great job as an author. And I'm going to read you a really quick passage as he describes the way this book is going to make you feel and how he did kind of write it to resemble a magazine. He says of magazines, no matter how careful you are, there's going to be the sense you missed something, the collapsed feeling under your skin that you didn't experience at all. That there's this fallen heart feeling that you rushed right through the moments where you should have been paying attention. And I think that's exactly how I feel whenever I read a magazine. Even when you read it front to back, you feel like, wait, did I catch every single article that was in here? And I get that vibe with this book too, and I do give him kudos and credit for doing that. To me, the book is just a little too glamorous and a little too full of itself. And I try to decipher whether or not this is a short falling on the author or if this is the way the book was meant to be read. And I think it is more that's the way the book is supposed to be read. But for me, it just doesn't fulfill me like a lot of the other books that I've read since the last time I read this one. This has a niche audience, and there are definite people that if they're looking to read a book, I'm going to recommend this to right away. And there's other people that I'm just not going to. To me, it's kind of lost a little bit of its luster. But I completely understand if you still think it's one of the best books ever written. Thanks for checking me out, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Remember, your thumbs up always help out a lot, so I really appreciate them. I'll see you next week. Tell me what you guys want to read. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Tumblr. I'll leave the links. Give me some thoughts. Give me some suggestions. I'm thinking next week some Stephen King. A lot of people suggesting Stephen King. Remember, I got to get the book done in a week, though. But if you know any Stephen King that you think's awesome, maybe feed me that. Feed me anything. I really want to hear what you guys have to say. I'll see you guys Monday when I let you know what I've picked, if you guys want to read along too. Until then, take care of yourself, take it easy, and enjoy the rest of this good weather before fall really starts settling in. I love you guys.